So I've called this video Dangerous Territory. Why is my picture on the cover? And I will actually come on to that and explain that, why I've called it that in a few minutes. But before I do, this is a follow-on to a video I did yesterday, and where I talked about the Football Manager cover and how it was created. And one of the things I've also been thinking is that, it was good in those days that we had something tangible with the games we bought, and we don't have that now that they're downloaded. And I've been thinking about that, and the last few days, really, in discussion with you guys, has convinced me that it's a good idea to have some kind of new souvenirs, and I've got something in mind which I think is worth having, and I'll be talking about that, or showing it actually tomorrow, what I've created, and I hope you like. And I think I think it's a good idea. So we'll see. And I also thought it would be good to talk about why my photo is on the cover. Why is my picture on the cover of the original game, and how that came about, and the impact, a little bit about the impact of it. Now, it's actually quite a big subject, but quite simple in its how it happened. The There's a reason why I also called it dangerous, because there was a little danger to it as well. But how it happened, when we were first creating all those computer games in the 80s, and we really were creating a new industry in the UK, on the ZX81 and the Spectrum and other computers later. In the very beginning, everything was new. We were a completely new industry. There was nothing in place, nothing at all. And I can remember quite early on, I was thinking that, okay, we're new, but are we really that new? Games have been around for a long time. Computers are new, but they're just new media for games. And what I kind of saw in my own mind was that it was an art form, a technical art form, that was a new one. And so I was selling the games, and I used to meet people at computer games fairs. So there were the early computer games fairs, the micro fairs, etc. And I would talk to people. So I was selling it mostly by mail order, and then meeting people at the fairs. And when I met them, we would be talking about Football Manager, my original Football Manager, this is about. And after short conversations, they would say, because of the things I was saying, they would say, "Did you write it?" They thought I was a kind of salesperson or a business person. And I said, "Yeah, I wrote it." And I said, "Oh, right. And they were really interested then, and fascinated, because I was the author. So this game that they were already playing a lot and enjoying very, very, very great deal, getting a lot of fun and entertainment out of, they were meeting the person who created it, and it meant a lot. And it was obviously a new experience for me. I mean, I'd never done anything like that before, but it did kind of register. I thought, oh, okay, so it means something to people. And then I just reflected on it, and I thought, well, hang on, what's so different here? Like I said, it's a creative art form. There are others very similar, providing entertainment. And what came to my mind was the music industry and books, which I felt we were kind of somewhere in between. And I thought about the music industry, and I thought, well, when do you ever really care about who's publishing a record, an album, as it was at the time? I thought, all you care about is the artist. You don't care that it's on Sony or whoever was around at the time as the publisher. It's irrelevant to you. What you care about is who created it. That's who you're interested in. You're interested in their style of creation and the process, and just also to if they produce more stuff to get, which you like the way that it's done, to get it. And so the cold hard business publisher is not really your interest. What your interest is the people that created it. That's what I thought. And I also thought about books as well. And I thought it's the same with books. You don't care that it's on can't think of a publisher, Penguin or something, or whatever book publisher it is, you care about who wrote the book. And I thought, well, surely computer games are the same. So maybe rather than Addictive, which was a company that I'd created in order to sell my game, and that was the purpose for it, I thought, well, maybe it's not Addictive that's important. Maybe it's important that I wrote it. And so because it was my company, I could actually, I mean, as I say, well, as I should say, my picture wasn't on the cover from the beginning. I mean, this was months and months into selling the games, and but because it was my company, I could make the decision to do this. And to picture on the cover to me was no different to when you buy a book and it has a photo of the author in the front or in the back of it, explaining the author's biography, or with music, with when you get an album by a band, that their photos are on the album. I just saw it as the same, and that was how simple it was to decide to do it, and I did, and it's proved to be more unique than I expected it to be, because I thought other people would do the same over time. I remember thinking this is just the way to go. But I think maybe because not so many as me had the actual control that they could do this, and they were under the control of a publisher who perhaps didn't want them to become well known because they've got more control over them if nobody knows who they are. I don't know. That's a suspicion I have. But as I say, I thought it was a good idea, and but there was a danger to it, and this is worth mentioning. If you're going to put your picture on the cover like I did, sure, you can get the credit then for your work, but you'll also get the criticism. And, it can be easier to lead a quiet life and just not be public. So I was taking a risk, and that was the danger of it. And I think, I believed in what I created with the Football Manager, and I think I was getting very good feedback. People were enjoying it. I didn't know how much, actually, because it was only like at a computer games fair, or if somebody wrote me a letter, did I know how much they were enjoying it. Other than that, all I knew was it was selling. But I did realize it was good, and so I had the confidence to do it. And it became something relatively unique and gave me a kind of identity for doing it. But I just thought it was the right thing to do, and I thought it was like music and books, and it's what you should do. And that's how simple it was that it came about. So anyway, that's the story of how I put my picture on the cover and why I put my picture on the cover. And then that sustained as a way of working. And now people have told me I should put it on Football Star Manager, the renewal of the game and subsequent games. Now I'm not so sure I look as good as I did in those young days, but it's certainly something I have to consider. So tomorrow I will show you what I think would be a good new souvenir to replace the cassettes that we used to have, that this was part of. I think it's nice to have something now, and I'll show you that in a video tomorrow. Thanks. And thanks for all the interactions about this as well. It's been very interesting.